A year from today, at 11 p.m. on Friday, March 29th, the United Kingdom will leave the European Union. In doing so, we will reach the end of a process that began in the summer of 2016 with the single biggest democratic mandate this country has ever seen. Of course, there were many who, at the time, wanted to see a different outcome. I know there are still some who would be happier if the referendum were to be rerun or the result ignored. But as I travel around the country, talking to ordinary people far from the Westminster bubble, one thing quickly becomes very clear. Regardless of whether they backed Leave or Remain, most people are tired of hearing the same old divisive arguments from the referendum campaign and just want us to get on with the task of making Brexit a success. And they're right to think that. The people of this country voted to leave the EU, and, as Prime Minister, it's my job to make that happen. That's why, in the 12 months since I triggered Article 50, the government has been working around the clock to make Brexit work for Britain. There have been countless hours of negotiations between the UK and Brussels. Thousands of civil servants in departments right across Whitehall have been working hard to prepare the country for life after the EU. I've traveled across Europe, meeting with national and EU leaders to discuss the way ahead, while cabinet ministers have spearheaded negotiations in their areas of responsibility. This enormous effort is already paying off. Just look at the recent agreement on the implementation period. Some said reaching such a consensus was an impossible task, yet we've done exactly that, securing an arrangement that delivers for the UK and which was warmly welcomed by leaders at last week's EU Council. The agreement on the implementation period shows what can be achieved when we come together as a nation and focus on the future. I have an ambitious vision for that future. It's a future in which we trade freely with friends and partners in Europe and beyond and build on the progress we've made as a country over the past few years. The economy is growing more strongly than many predicted. The deficit is down by 3/4. Employment is at a record high. It is our job to secure a Brexit that not only locks in that economic success but makes our country even more prosperous and secure. And, by seizing the opportunities provided by Brexit, that is exactly what we are going to do. Today, I'm traveling to all 4 nations of the UK, visiting businesses and talking to people about how, together, we can deliver a Brexit that works for every part of our precious union. I am determined that as we leave the EU, and in the years ahead, we will strengthen the bonds that unite us, because ours is the world's most successful union. We have 1 year to get Britain ready to leave the EU, 365 days in which to shape the legacy we will leave to our children and grandchildren. If we put aside our differences and all pull in the same direction, we can deliver a Brexit that works for everyone. That's what people of this country demanded. And that is what we must give them.